In this episode of Travelogue, we take you on a journey through picturesque SHAOGUAN of Guangdong Province. Be enthralled by their rich historical and cultural heritage, where ancient trees and rivers have stood the test of time, and soak up the medicinal and therapeutic effects of hot springs. Tucked away in the mountain, it's the perfect getaway.
Hundreds of years ago, the Chinese people of northern and central China decided to head on south. And their first stop was Shaoguan of Guangdong Province. And you see, with their rich historical and cultural heritage, they shaped and were shaped by the local landscape. Today, even the ancient trees and the lands and the water flow remind us of the city's long history. And that's exactly why we're here today. I'm Yin, and welcome to Travelogue.
Just take a look for yourself. Shaoguan is a city blessed with a beautiful natural landscape. It's situated in the hilly northern part of Guangdong Province, just about 3 hours north of Guangzhou by car, bus, or train. Here, the Wu and Zhen rivers join up to create the North River, which flows south to Guangzhou. This is a city inspired by water, a city whose long historical current can be traced all the way back to the origins of the Guangdong people. In Shaoguan, there's a quiet, picturesque paradise just 18 kilometers from the city proper. What you see here are not your typical mountains. The caves at Lion Rock were once the home of people way back in the Stone Age. And back then, Maba Man, as they're known, looked a little like this. The remains of Maba Man were discovered accidentally in 1958 by some local farmers.
I bet 50 years ago, the guy who discovered this cave knew not what he was getting into. Well, what he did discover was a cave with the remains of our ancestors, Maba Man, from over 130,000 years ago. And from these remains, we get a better understanding of what life was like for him, and also possibly learn about our own past and future.
Although you can see a huge difference between these guys and Peking Man from 500,000 years ago, Maba Man still has the overall face shape of an earlier form of man, with his protruding brows and lips and forward-sloping forehead. Pretty fascinating. And even if you're not an anthropology buff, just the environment here is pleasant enough. Besides checking out early civilizations, people come to Shaoguan to visit Nanhua Temple, which is a center of Chan or Zen Buddhism. Located just 6 kilometers from Maba town, Nanhua Temple draws people in their hordes. It's nestled among ancient trees in a peaceful and soothing environment, and it's not hard to see why its 6th patriarch, Huineng, chose this place to sit in meditation for 36 years to reach enlightenment.
You see, the wonder of Chan Buddhism lies in its underlying concept. Now, before it was formally established over 1,000 years ago, there were different sects of Buddhism, and some emphasized the importance of cleansing the human spirit of impurities. Instead, the Chan Buddhism stressed the importance of enlightenment. And this was this concept of being pure in the first place. It was a higher realm of being. And thus later on, Chan Buddhism took over the entire country as the most important form of Buddhism and still runs strong today.
Huineng was a seminal figure in Buddhist history. At the age of 24, after happening to hear someone reciting a sutra, he was absolutely captivated. Thus began his quest for Buddhist knowledge. His tenure at Nanhua Temple at the beginning of the Tang Dynasty marks the beginning of the golden age of Chan. After Huineng passed away, his body was mummified, and the sacred lacquered statue still sits in the 6th Master Hall today, which is open to worshippers. It's been here for over 1,000 years. Nearly all of what we know about Huineng is recorded in the Platform Sutra. This is a collection of talks given by the 6th Patriarch and is the standard work of Chan literature. Its passages are still discussed and used as teaching material in all schools of Chan. Today, the monks who study Chan Buddhism analyze Huineng Sutra, but the key focus is still on self-enlightenment, which can only be attained by practice. At Nanhua Temple, the monks stay for however long it takes to search for that enlightenment. And although no Buddhist monk myself, one look at these monks and you can sense their devotion to their religion. As we move further on, we reach the back of the temple. There's a Jiuquan fountain here, which is a clear stream that's been running through the temple year after year. The stream has been on since the 6th Patriarch, and it's believed he washed his robes here. It's also recommended that you wash your hands and face before burning incense and praying.
Wow. You see, all the guests here have to come here, the spring water. And the water here has been gently and persistently running for over 1,000 years, going strong, still like the religion here. And there's actually a miracle function. It's believed the water is rejuvenating and also take away all your troubles. So, it's a hot day.
After tasting the water, I can't say I feel ages younger, but it sure is crisp and refreshing. Many visitors bottle some of this pure and ancient water to take home. Now, these waters are still nurturing all the life here, just as they did 1,000 years ago. Now it's time to put on a good pair of hiking boots, because we're going to track back through the history of the Guangdong people. A 2-hour drive northeast of Shaoguan to the Nanxiong district will bring us to the ancient Meiguan Pass. This pass, since ancient times, has divided North and Central China from the south. It's originally known as the first pass to southern China. For many people in the past, going south meant a new life in the relatively uninhabited southern frontier.
You see, people have walked this ancient path for over 1,200 years, And back in the Tang Dynasty, it served as the main route connecting the north with the south. And even today, this gate over here, it separates Guangdong Province with Jiangxi Province. On the walls and on the ground, we can see remnants of the past because they pay witness to history.
Having made their way south, these early pioneers' first resting place was Zhuji Lane. This was a true melting pot, where north met south and people from different places became neighbors. It was from this long and narrow strip of land that people later migrated further southward to the Pearl River Delta. That's why Zhuji Lane is recognized as the birthplace of the Cantonese.
Today, the street seems relatively peaceful, but actually, hundreds of years ago, the Chinese people from northern and central China emigrated here to this area before moving on further south. Now, in those days, it was much different. People were busying themselves in the streets, going about their daily affairs. And still today, we can see remnants of the surnames. See, each house has a different surname representing a different family for all the different families that used to live here. Nowadays, we see many different people from southern China and other areas in Guangdong who come here and try to search for the past.
Today, people come to Zhuji Lane to commemorate their ancestors and search for their roots. Here, there are ancestral homes belonging to 100+ different families. People can find their family names and trace their history, pay respects to the ancient, and donate money to maintain these homes. Most interesting, however, are what appears to be ancient books. They're so old, I don't dare to touch them.
Look at these old books. Well, they're not really books. Actually, they're historical records of a family's past, where the ancestors were from, how many children they had, what their names were, and what they did and accomplished within their lives. And you see, these are of the Guo family, and you can find hundreds of years of history inside these ancient books. You see, even the tops are probably burnt, or they've been through floods or different natural disasters, but they've made it up until today. And that's why many people actually come to this street, to find out the history of their ancestors and to learn about their past. Look at this book.
Even if you don't recognize the characters and names of these people, it's an unbelievable feeling just knowing that these are the stories of somebody's ancestors. Now imagine what it would be like if you did find the name of a certain great-great-grandfather. Nowadays, most people have migrated away from Zhuji Lane, particularly the young. However, the cobblestone lanes, weathered walls, and ancient waters give Zhuji a certain old-world charm. Indeed, SHAOGUAN is a meeting place for different groups of people. And just 1 hour drive south from Nanxiong, we reach Shixin County. This is a major gathering place of the Hakkas, a subgroup of the Han Chinese people. The Hakkas are not native Guangdongers. They are believed to have migrated here during times of warfare. Theirs is a unique lifestyle centered on the castle-like homes where they live.
傅洗个手。
可以。
Whew, that's refreshing. You might be wondering why there's a well right in the middle in the inside of the encircled house. Well, believe it or not, it's the wisdom of the ancient ancestors. They believed that water represented wealth. And so this well here is filled with money. And so when you get the bucket and get your water, it's like getting a big dig of gold or something like that. Even in the structure of the building here, up there, you see it's open top. So all the rain and the wealth can flow right out into the household and stay within its borders. And throughout the sides, you can see these little round tokens, which also represent monetary wealth. These tokens can be found in all these places around the house.
The Hakka people live together in their multi-storied fortified houses, like the one at Donghuping. A house usually holds several dozen to 100 families. But for me, the structure offers a cool place to get away from the summer heat. A natural air conditioning system.
Actually, if you look on the two sides, it's a poem. Chinese people often do this at their doors in order to represent a lot of fortune and prosperity. And also other symbolic meanings. Up here, if you look, you'll notice that there's actually something very wrong with the poem. And that's, if you can read Chinese, one character is written wrong on purpose. Now, the reason people in the past did this was to remind their sons and daughters of the future to learn how to read and write and get a good education so they can figure out which word is written incorrectly.
Modern people don't really need this type of fortified house anymore, but it's a special style that displays the unique customs and lifestyles of the traditional Hakka people. Perhaps it was because of their constant migrations that they felt the need to huddle together in these large villages. The largest of these fortified houses in Guangdong is not this one. The largest is just 30 minutes from Donghuping and has over 770 rooms. Mantang Manor House was built in 1836 for a rich official. It looks like a castle, and just like a real castle, was designed to be defended. The house is divided into 3 sections, left, center, and right. The central part has several layers, each enclosed like a rectangle within the next. It's a design that can contain fire should one break out. A lot of defensive measures are incorporated into the design. The doors are even cast with metal, and when they're closed, the house is cut off from the rest of the world.
It's kind of creepy in here, isn't it? It's like almost a dungeon or a castle. And you won't find many people in here. The walls are over 2 meters thick, and the windows are small, just a glimmer of light. Well, the reason there are no villagers inside the main building is because they actually only come here when they're attacked and need defense. The rest of the times, they live outside of the main building, also still in the enclosed building. And that is where we find most of the activity.
Looks a little mysterious, huh? Well, we'll see what life is like on the outside. The fortified house is almost a symbol of the Hakka people. It's the center of life, center of commerce and production, and a repository of Hakka history and culture. Hakka in Chinese literally means guest families, so even the name tells you that they are not Guangdong locals, but migrants from northern China who originally fled the social unrest and upheavals caused by war and famine. Today, they still observe their unique lifestyle and customs, and that includes living in their special homes. It's one big happy family. When you stroll through the Hakka houses, one thing you're bound to notice is the local staple food. Can you guess what it is? It's called 宰相粉 in Chinese, and it's a type of rice noodle. The name 宰相粉 translates as Prime Minister Noodle. The story goes there when a man who served as a sort of prime minister long ago made it to the top ranks to his success in the imperial exams. While in preparing for the exam, he kept up his strength by eating this special midnight snack. And there it is, 宰相 noodle.
And you see, from this moist noodle, we get the final product, this dry noodle. And I see this type of dry noodle is very convenient to carry along on trips. And that's exactly why it was first created in the Tang Dynasty. Sort of like instant noodles. Very delicious local snack.
宰相 noodles are easy to cook. Just boil them up for a few minutes and they're ready to serve. On their own, they don't have much flavor, but add a little seasoning or stir-fry them with some vegetables or meat, and you have a delicious dish. Something the people here have been eating for hundreds of years. Back near the center of the city, a good place to relax is Shaoxi Hot Springs Resort. Just one look at this place and you'll want to hang your hat and call it a day. Prices are good too. Expect to pay around 100 to 200 RMB for a room on the weekday or 300 RMB at the weekend. Of course, it also depends on the type of room you choose. There are also luxurious guest rooms and villas. Although business is good, the resort is huge, so you're pretty well guaranteed your private room.
127. Ah, my humble abode. Check it out. Whew. Nice and cool in here. Wow. So outside it looks like a garden, but inside, this is what I like to call home. Nice place to relax. Let's see what else they have here. Wow. Incredibly luxurious bathroom over here. Internet. And look over there. It's like palm trees. A little piece of utopia for those who want to take a little time to themselves. Up. And of course, why I came to this room. You have your very own little hot spring. For the people who don't want to be out there with everyone else, you can have your little posh getaway right here. And the water is incredibly hot. But in the middle of summer, I don't know what it would feel like. For all its relaxation purposes, this is what I'm going to try out. So this is the part where I get in there and you go away. I ordered the private room for a reason.
Or if you want to get a little further from the city, a 30-minute drive will bring you to Fengwan Hot Springs, a larger spring resort that's tucked away in the mountains. The water here is rich in minerals, which give it medicinal and therapeutic properties. Here you can soak up, hang out with friends, or do water sports, or even find your own unique way to relax. Stay for a day or even a few days on a short vacation. It's an out-of-this-world experience. Well, after all this walking, I found something that was just perfect for my feet.
I gotta say, this is the most interesting foot massage I have ever had. These fish, they're biting at my feet, and I'm controlling it right now, but it itches, and it hurts. These guys, you see, they're raised on the skin, the dead skin of people's bodies, and at the same time for me, I get nicer feet.
Although they weren't sharks, these little monsters were a lot bigger than I had expected. But it looks like my feet sure got a polishing. People come here for different reasons. A weekend out with friends, a vacation, or even an unusual day to sweep someone off their feet.
Wow. Some people go swimming in the ocean, others in their home pools. Well, you gotta come here for a completely unique experience. Surrounded by palm trees, blue skies, and open air, and even look, mountains in the distance. It's surely a vacation you will never forget. I will.
Shaoguan is a relaxing place. From the people here to the environment, there's something for everyone, and a few days here will be exactly what you're looking for.
Initially, it's the beauty of the natural landscape of Shaoguan that brings you here. But soon after, you'll be captivated by its rich history and its culture. And perhaps it's this combination that makes it so unique. I'm Yin, and see you next time on Travelogue.